It's confirmed. The Cavaliers' former 49th overall pick will be testing the free agent market as the Cavs do not offer him a contract to return to the Cavaliers next season. And what was kind of an out-of-nowhere move that kind of makes sense, although we did not expect this to happen at this point. We kind of had thoughts. We didn't really think much of it, actually, if Emoni Bates, the former 49th overall pick, would return to Cleveland or not. But they decided to let him test the free agent market, and Emoni Bates will no longer be a Cavalier, at least at this very second, and that is what it's going to look like going into next season. I'm Matt Playing with Cavs Digest. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. This is why you should join Cavs Digest, guys. I make a video about a free agent that I think would be a great fit for the Cavaliers. Of course, it seems unlikely, but I wanted to have some fun and just tell you guys about how much the Cavs need a backup center. And then just an hour later, and I'm making a video about a free agent that actually does end up leaving the Cavaliers. That is kind of what's happening with the Cavs at this point, and this is the best time to be a subscriber to Cavs Digest because you get all these highly reliable, highly quick updates about the Cavaliers. We cover everything, all things Cavs. That's why you should go ahead and subscribe. As 68% of you are not subscribed, and you should come and join us here at Cavs Digest to continue to build this community that we have here. I love you guys. You guys are awesome fans, and I'm so excited to share about the recent news surrounding Emoni Bates, who the Cavs have declined his qualifying offer, making him an unrestricted free agent. A league source tells Cleveland Cavs on Sports Illustrated, which is just really, really good to know that the Cavs have been trying to do their best to avoid any contract issues and not giving money to players that may not deserve it. And that's what I know a lot of you guys are going to say is that Emoni Bates didn't get a chance, and that's what I'm kind of here to talk about. I do think Emoni Bates did not get a chance. He only played 25 games in the NBA. Here are his stats. 25 games in the NBA, 3.7 points per game, 2.7 points per game, 30% from the field, 30% from three, whatever. Those stats don't really mean too much considering it's 15 games. He was more of a G League guy for the Cavaliers. And before we dive into him, let's just go over the report real quick. With this transaction, Bates is set to become an unrestricted free agent. The number 49 overall pick was in the 2023 NBA draft. Bates was always viewed as a long-term project, but he wasn't afforded many opportunities. He has a total of 25 NBA games under his belt with averages of 3.8 points per game and 0.8 rebounds with CBSSports.com. And I kind of agree that he wasn't given a huge opportunity, but you also have to break down what CBS said about that, is that he was a long-term project, and that's what we always viewed Emoni Bates when we drafted him, at least me personally. I knew that this was a bona fide bucket, and that's kind of what we viewed him as. We viewed Emoni Bates as a guy that will have a green light to just shoot the ball, but it was going to lead to inefficiency. That's the simple truth. It was going to lead to inefficiency. This guy's going to shoot the crap out of the ball, and he's going to be a G League monster. When it comes to the NBA, you can't have a guy that struggles on the defensive side and is just a tall, pure scorer who isn't really that strong, isn't really that physical, but will just go grab the ball and go get you a bucket. It just doesn't work with how inefficient he is. He doesn't really have a consistent release. He doesn't really have anything consistent going from the offensive side. He is a phenomenally talented scorer, and he was viewed highly like that in high school. I remember seeing Emoni Bates in high school, and this guy was a human highlight reel. This guy was putting on this insane highlight reels from a lot of people. A Ball is Life. I remember seeing A Ball is Life, I believe, from Emoni Bates in high school, and then in 2023, the Cavs drafted him. I'm like, dang, I remember that kid from high school. Because he was a highlight reel and people were talking about him heavily because he was a tall, skinny guard, and he was being compared to Kevin Durant in high school. Like, this guy plays like KD. Look at him shooting the ball at almost 7 feet tall, a little under, of course, but just, high ends of six feet tall, just scoring the ball at a high level. And that's what it seemed like for Emoni Bates. But, and when the Cavs drafted him, it seemed like a steal at the 49th overall pick. This is a offensive masterclass. That's basically what it was. At least what it looked like. He was at Memphis. He transferred to Eastern Michigan, I believe, and that's where he played his collegiate years. The Cavs drafted him in the late second round at the 49th overall pick, and it seemed we didn't quite know the approach when it came to Emoni Bates, but we all kind of viewed him as a project due to from him being a beast in high school to not being at the top dog level that he could have been in college. It seemed unlikely that he was going to be anything special in the NBA unless the Cavs really stepped up to develop him. And we're going to continue talking about that a little bit, about development on players. But Emoni Bates is a free agent. So I know a lot of you guys are big Emoni Bates fans, thinking that he was, ready to get some playing time, that he was ready to maybe take a step in the roster to fill in a the small forward position, in hopes of trying to get some playing time and trying to improve his skills. But totally doesn't seem like he's given that chance, at least in Cleveland. Maybe a worse team could utilize him, but at where the Cavs are depth-wise, You play 10, you trust 8. That's what they say, and he's just not going to be one of those 10 or 8, and that's just how it's going to be. I do think they could have given him more opportunities, as you see with the 10 points, 10 minutes and 15 minutes with 7 minutes a game. Sorry, 10 games played, 15 games played, and in those games wasn't averaging much minutes. He had a 25-point game. I'm pretty sure that was this year, late in the season. He had a 25-point game. Last game of the season against the Pacers, maybe? Regular season, of course. But at the end of the day, it just didn't seem like unless you're resting players or it's a garbage time game, that Emoni Bates could perform. But in the G League, he was. So it's hard to break down if the Cavs just didn't give him a fair chance, or if Emoni Bates just isn't good. It's hard to really choose at this point. But I know that's kind of what I want to hear from you guys is was Emoni Bates worth just letting go, or should the Cavs have given him a chance and they're going to regret this one? Let me know what you guys think about that. But we're going to continue talking about the Cavs' development because we look at a guy like Jalen Tyson, and releasing Emoni Bates kind of worries me. Jalen Tyson was a first-round pick, so he's a little more secure, at least, when it comes to projected skill, when it comes to what you can be at your best. Jalen Tyson coming into the NBA seemed like a better, risk or more valuable because he was a first-round pick, excuse me. But it seems like the Cavs' development on rookies is going to be a slight concern. Of course, I made a video talking about how Tyrese Proctor was a robbery and was a good pick. Was a huge steal in the fourth round. Second round, 49th overall. I know I talk fast, guys. I'm sorry. Anyways, we'll keep focusing on Jalen Tyson here. But it seems like maybe Proctor won't even get a chance. Craig Porter Jr., who I said could be a sneaky weapon for the Cavaliers this year, it might not seem like they're willing to even give him a chance. That's what I'm a little worried about. They gave Merrill a chance, and then they ended up paying Merrill. Merrill was a 60th overall pick. Was bouncing around, and the Cavs ended up giving him a chance, and then he played well. I don't see in what world Jalen Tyson, Emoni Bates, Craig Porter, all these young guys that have a chance at being a good piece on the Cavaliers team doesn't get a chance. Of course, I since last year I was like, dude, we need Tyson to get more minutes. Like, we really, really need Jalen Tyson to play. Emoni Bates, I was more iffy on. I was like, you know what? I don't think Emoni Bates is going to fit because he's not going to be physical enough, and he's going to just want the ball in his hands. He's just going to green light and shoot the ball and just be like a worse Georges Niang or a better Georges Niang, whatever you want to say it. I don't know. But a less physical one, too. So better at some things. I don't know. But shout out Georges Niang. Cavs drafted another Niang this year. That's kind of funny. But no relation at all. But it does worry me to see if Emoni Bates and Jalen Tyson, if Emoni Bates being released is a future of what Jalen Tyson could end up. But anyways, that is it. For the report. Emoni Bates will officially hit free agency. Let me know what you guys think about Emoni Bates being gone. Are you guys Emoni Bates fans? Me personally, I honestly am not that too concerned. I think you can't pay guys you're not going to play. You only pay if we saw Emoni Bates get paid, that means he's going to play. But this just shows you that he wasn't going to play. I feel bad for the kid. Seems like he really didn't get a fair chance on Cleveland. But as of right now, Emoni Bates will hit free agency. Good luck to him and his future endeavors. Thank you guys for joining me. Hit that subscribe button to get these updates. That's 2 videos within a span of 3 hours. I didn't expect this to happen, but I had to make this as quick for you guys, and that's why you should join Cavs Digest. Me and Billy are pushing out as many videos about everything that happens. Once something happens, we post it for you guys, and that's what we are here to do. Or if we have any thoughts that we want to share, of course, we're always trying to make our best and just try to engage with you guys. So, of course, thank you guys for joining me. I'm Matt Blangy. Have a good one.